Right. It says I've gone live, so let's move a few things around. Sorry for the clearing of one's throat. Welcome, everyone, to a end of week solo edition. Well, it always is actually in retrospect of the Moistski news. Oh, one sec. Right. Odd time to want to cough. 1 second. Cough over. My apologies. Enjoy your D&D. So, I have in front of me 7 subjects that either didn't make it out of the cutting table, off the cutting table, out of the cutting room for the midweek Moistski news, but also a few topics that have cropped up that Trups and I guarantee would have covered today. And yeah, I've started the stream with this. I don't know why. We shouldn't be on this one. We need to be on this one. This is better. We'll get to that later. So we're not going to start with that. No. We're going to start with... good evening. Yes. Hello, Karma. Hello, Serene. Hello, Dark Echo Romantica. Hope you're all well. Hello, Tiana. Hope you're doing well. Yes, 7 subjects. Really? The most dry cough known to man. Okay, great. The reason why is because I didn't have time on Wednesday for some of these. And others have cropped up yesterday and today, and I'm sat here thinking, yeah, well, I want to do a little streaming. I want to do a little political stream to keep the channel active as well until Trups is back, and then we can resume business as usual. And I have written notes, oddly enough. So we're going to start. We're going to start with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, because as it turns out, after their reject hate speech and misinformation call to arms for those American voters that need to register and blah de blah 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 blah. Because of what they've been doing politically, it turns out from a legal stance they have actually violated the terms of what has been called Megxit. It's a trash term. How about a royal and his annoying wife stepping back from royal duties because they want to go their own way? It could be called MGTOW, standing for Meghan going their own way. And I say there because Harry is her simp. So, as far as London... So, to continue on from that. Hello, Chaos. Hope you're well. Hello, Gemma Deering and Roger Brown. Hope you're having a great day. This is led because of their comments to senior royals having to, because they have no choice, distance themselves from those. Granted, Harry and Meghan have been talking more about fighting systemic racism or something. That could certainly go well, I'm sure. But let's face it, the last thing the public want to hear are a prince, one of those royal people who's always been above everything, because, you're born into it, you're meant to be better, telling the peasantry to fight the systemic racism. Oh boy. Oh dear. Another consequence of this is that any engagements will be reviewed by the Queen, Prince of Wales and Duke of Cambridge. That means that while the Queen has agreed to keep the positions vacated by Prince Harry open, they could just now say no. For example, Harry is the... not now. He is the Captain General of the Royal Marines. Obviously he isn't, and the position is open. They can close those if they want now, because they've broken the terms of the deal. So I wish them nothing but the best. Now they have the HRH title, His Royal Highness. Yeah, they get to keep that. However, they're not allowed to use them. And this is proven because they can't remove Harry's title, which was proven when Edward VIII kept his HRH title when he abdicated. So, poor Prince Harry and Meghan Markle doing absolutely everything possible. I should tell you out that, Dibs. Hey, Dibs, how you doing, man? 1 second again. I don't know why it is when I go to start streaming at the moment. But I keep ending up with a dry throat, and it's really weird because I had a drink. I would not alcohol drink, just to be clear. I had water. I was fine, and apparently, this is enough to strain me. Oh boy, 7 minutes in already. I'm worried I'm gonna have a coughing fit. This is gonna be fun. We should move on from this subject. It's annoying me. I'm gonna link in the chat the article where this is all referenced. Harry and Meggie. There you go. That's the article. Dib him, Meg. Dib him! I should dib him. Let's dib him. Enjoy your dinner. He's been dibbed. Hang on. Did I dib him? I don't know if I did or not. Doesn't show it. I don't know. I don't see the dibbing. Oh well. So, moving on from that, we're going to talk about Lawrence Fox. Lawrence Fox is an actor. He's in a bunch of British shows related to Inspector Morse, but not Morse Lewis, I think it is. Yeah. Was married to somebody, not anymore. He is most notable, though, because very recently he spoke out against certain types of dating. He wouldn't date someone that's woke. He won't date someone that's, date someone that's under a certain age and blah, blah, blah. It got him a lot of flack. If anything, I think it made him more relevant than he'd ever been. And, yeah, he's also excuse me. Of course, when I'm not coughing, I must yawn as well. My apologies. I'm so used to Trups carrying these streams. And yes, I saw that Patriarch of the Sith. I will get to it, I promise you. Next week's exhibition of stupid people is definitely featuring that. Lawrence Fox has set up a political party which has been dubbed UKIP for Culture. Their aim is to represent British people who are tired of being told that we represent the very thing we have in history stood together against. Because parties like that haven't existed over the last however many years parties have existed. No. Now the party is provisionally called Reclaim. That sounds original. Now, he managed to raise £1 million for this political party, right? Which is quite, I'm not going to fault the guy for trying, but at this point, take the money and run, mate. Just take it and run. Right. The party, because of the money raised, can operate as soon as, now actually. And their intention is to put candidates up for the next general election in 2024. Lawrence Fox told one of those poxy tabloids, over many years it has become clear that our politicians have lost touch with the people they represent and govern. Like every politician to ever exist ever. That's not even a joke. Moreover, our political institutions now work to an agenda beyond their main purpose. Our modern United Kingdom was born out of the respectful inclusion of so many individual voices. I'm going to stop there by saying that the entire statement is on his Twitter. I'm going to link again an article in the chat that is relevant, and it links... it does link the tweet down below. It's in the article. And it was, really interesting to read. But I'll be honest with you, UKIP was trending because essentially you've just created UKIP 2.0. Just saying, it's, I saw him get absolutely hammered on Question Time because he made some comments about race, I think, and he even lost his girlfriend about it. I get it, you want to get involved in those kind of arguments. It's going to hurt your mental health. It's going to make you say stupid things. You need to walk away or ignore it as best as you can because seriously, it could do some serious damage to you. I guess what we should do now is talk about coronavirus. Meg always needs validation, Patriarch of the Sith. I'm coughing, yawning, I'm creaking as well. See, I am falling apart. We're going to talk about coronavirus, so I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm probably going to get a lot of comments afterwards saying, Megon, you are perpetuating the myth of coronavirus. Sure, let's say that. I'm more indulging in what is being presented, and by doing so, offering a minor opinion to what is being presented. As many know, there are many sectors that have struggled because of the lockdowns. And because of those lockdowns, we need things to start working again, right? Well, because of the rise in infections, a significant rise in infections, pubs were made to close an hour earlier than usual. And that's not great. But I should say, as everyone else has, it is well established at this point that coronavirus goes home at 10 p.m. No one gets infected after 10 p.m. Ever. Yeah. Well, the rise in infections based on government data, let's just indulge this. Don't bother saying I'm perpetuating. Just tell me I'm perpetuating a myth. It's fine. It's fine. Well, of all the infections so far, there's a percentage for this. There's a little pie chart, in fact. I'll link the article soon, don't worry. So I'm going to go through all the sectors and tell you what the percentage is that they contribute towards the rise. You have 6% that are other. Now that's important. We'll get to it later. You have 1% prisons. Cool. All that bum fun must be doing them wonders. 5% hospitals. 16% workplace. 25% care homes. The next two, by the way, are the ones that seal the deal. But I'm going to throw pubs in now. Bars and restaurants, 3%. They were second from bottom. And at number 1, with 44%, the lion's share of the increase in infections based on government data. Schools and colleges. But let's just blame the pubs, shall we, by making them close an hour early, even though the hospitality sector has such a low rate. Bravo, government. Bravo. Sounds to me like you just wanted an excuse to close them an hour early so it looked like you were doing something, when in fact even MPs have said, the fuck is this shit? Oh, 1 second. I'll be honest. By the way, I saw the joke, Janelle. I saw it. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so apparently, the hospitality sector must take the a rather unusual experiment. Has just not worked because it's not where according to government's own data, where the problem is. Yeah, anyway, we'll carry on. I will put the source in the chat for you. Infection rate article. Right? Nice and simple. I guess with coronavirus in mind, we should probably talk about this image on the screen. This one. For those who don't know, the gentleman on the right, which is the very first time you'll ever hear me say this, because he's not on the right, but in this image he is. We have Jeremy Corbyn, who, I'll be honest, looking at this picture, it just looks cool. It's a group of people having a dinner party. Sorry about the cough. Coof. Jeremy Corbyn, his wife is at the back, second from right, one with the fringe. Yeah, that's his wife. And they had hosted a dinner party, which sounds like a nothing, really, doesn't it? However, it's breached the rules, because there's a new rule at the moment in place called the rule of 6. Now I don't know if you can count, but it's only a rule of 6 if Jeremy and his wife aren't there. It does look really cozy though. Like, seriously, just 8 people around a table having dinner. And I'm pretty sure they moved one person just so they can get them in the photo, instead of having them sat, with the empty chairs at the front, right? But there is a mole, because this photo was taken privately, and people are now trying to find out who leaked the photo. Now, it breaks the rules But the police have said, and this is quite interesting, that they're not going to issue a £200 fine for the breach of the legislation, which is really strange. First of all, it doesn't matter who leaked it because who gives a damn, really. I just think it's just a dinner party. That's all it is, right? That's the thing, Tracy. Oddly enough, people aren't too sure about that, but because it's not about how old it is, because of how it's but because of how they because of how Squidbilly's got kung flu, nice. Because of the fact that there is an investigation into who leaked it, it had to have happened after the rule of 6 was implemented. So it's kind of one of those very odd things. I should now tell you, for the sake of it, the lady with the culturally appropriating with the dreads, right? That is the widow of the Occupy Wall Street organizer, David Graeber. Yeah. So he's sticking to his roots, of course. I stopped working. Yeah, I was malfunctioning, okay? The police have said that they are not they won't investigate these things retrospectively, even though this is pretty obvious. But then the police will seek to engage and explain and encourage people to follow the rules. Well, I can imagine someone going to his house right now and just, telling him who's boss. Right, yeah, totally. Yeah, right. Okay. Well, he did break the rules, though, so he should be fined for that. But he'll probably just claim it as an MP expense, really. And it took my interest because, well, it happened just after I made my video, so, yeah. It's in the spirit of the law, even if it's outside the letter. True. Yeah. Here's the article in the chat. I am going to move on to another breach. This one's a bit bigger because... So, you remember the whole thing with Dominic Cummings, where he was told... he went for a little drive a fair few miles away from his home, take his kids to a safe place, family-wise, because his wife was exhibiting symptoms of Corona-chan. Well, it turns out he's not the only person that did something a bit questionable. Obviously, he went for a test drive as well, I remember, because of his eyesight. Yeah, that was fun. We have the SNP MP Margaret Ferrier. She... okay, so what she did was, on Saturday, 26th of September, she experienced mild symptoms... Mild symptoms of coronavirus in the afternoon and took a test. No one knows where she was at the time. I should move back to the desk, shouldn't I? I do apologise. There we go. And we'll get rid of that picture, because who cares? There we go. The one assassin. So on the 28th, Monday, she said she was feeling better and took a train from, Scotland to London. Yeah. Okay. In that evening... She gave a 4-minute speech in the House of Commons during a debate on coronavirus. At some point, though, during that day, she received a positive result from the test. There is a debate of whether or not she received it before or after her parliamentary address. But then we go to the next day. The next day, she boarded the train in the morning without seeking advice and then isolated when she arrived in Glasgow. 2 days after being notified, she informed the party, but they didn't know at that stage that she had taken the test before travelling to London. Because of that, the speaker was then informed and told to start contact tracing. And then on October the 1st, she reported herself to the police who then, she released a statement saying she was sorry for a mistake and admitting she should have isolated while awaiting her test result, which is true. She should have. SNP Westminster leader Blackford has suspended the whip from her. It means she can't vote on things. And said that they became aware she had taken the test before departing from Parliament and had travelled back to Scotland knowing it had come back positive. Meaning... So no one thought to stop her. People interacted with her. She shouldn't She shouldn't have, well, first of all, she should have isolated when the test. Yes, the moment she found positive, she should have told people straight away, and people would have gone based on the rules. That's what she should have done. And this has been a bit of a storm, really, because she was in Parliament. She was around people. Yes, there was distance, but I'll be honest, I don't think there's an issue with coronavirus travelling 2 metres. Unless, oh, excuse me, obligatory yawn. Unless we're about to find out that coronavirus, first of all, doesn't work after 10 p.m. and it can't travel more than 2 metres from person to person. Because it can only travel if you speak moistly. Based on my dry throat, yeah, no, we don't have to worry about that. Did monkeys inside the Omegon suit stop for a banana break? Yes, they did. She's a super spreader, yeah. I'm not reading the rest of that. Oh, I will post in the chat the related article on Ferrier, because it's interesting. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, well, with that, we're going to move on a little bit from that. We're going to focus on Brexit. We'll go back to coronavirus later, I promise. I probably should have ordered these a bit better. We'll do 2 articles on coronavirus. The first is that the European Commission has raised the stakes. It's begun the, I'll be honest, arduous process of Article 258 enforcement proceedings against the United Kingdom. But this was known that they were going to do this the moment the UK published the Internal Market Bill back at the beginning of September. This was announced yesterday by Ursula von der Leyen, who said they were seeking legal action against us for contradicting the withdrawal agreement. That is verbatim, by the way. The international law at issue is the withdrawal agreement, the divorce text negotiated with the EU to bring an end to the UK membership, and it specifically gives ministers power to breach aspects of the Northern Ireland Protocol, which is what the Internal Market Bill does, which are parts in withdrawal, which is already enshrined in the withdrawal agreement, on state aid and customs duties, and also provision in the withdrawal agreement on direct effect, which is the enforceability of provisions in the protocol. However, the Commission is not complaining about the breach of the protocol in the 258 proceedings. No, because this is the powers given to UK ministers under the Internal Market Bill have yet to be exercised. Instead, they're complaining about the more general breach of Article 5 of the withdrawal agreement on the duty of good faith. Article 5 provides that the UK and EU must take all appropriate measures, whether general or particular, to ensure fulfilment of all obligations arising from this agreement, and have to refrain from any measures that could jeopardize the attainment of the objectives of this agreement. Enjoy your class, Janelle. Have a lovely day. So yeah, I'm dry. Yeah, very sad times. I'm going to get some water after this. So yeah, the EU is going to try and sue us because of that. That'll be fun. Don't worry, I've got another one that's even funnier. In France, next year, I think it's next year or 2022, I think it's 2022, election season will be upon them. Election season, as it were. Yes, one moment. Because of that, my apologies, I had to cough again. Because of that, Emmanuel Macron needs to start looking good. Now, I don't know much about French politics. I don't know if he's doing well. I don't know how he's in the polls. Thank you, Lloyd Watson, by the way, for the £2 sticker. That's very kind of you. Very generous as well. Well, he has decided to put his foot, draw a line in the sand. He has demanded that EU fishermen be given continued access to British waters. But, with a deal now considered to be in sight, he may be forced to drop his demands, and since France is renowned for quitting, it's likely he will. Thank you for that. Why is that not in the middle? No, you. Get in the middle. That's better. You belong over there. That's better. I can see the text as well. So, Macron has called for a deal to maintain access similar to what has been seen within the CFP, the Common Fisheries Policy. Macron is currently also under pressure to compromise his maximalist position on fishing rights for EU fishermen in UK waters, but it's a bit sensitive for him, so he can't. Because, he needs to win his next election, right? And so key rivals could, in fact, accuse him, if he doesn't put his foot down, of sacrificing French interests, which is true. But we've got very rich coastal waters, and I'll be honest, the EU shouldn't be allowed to exploit our coastal region. The EU could argue the level playing field, right? But fisheries is, I'll be honest, while a divergence between the two of us, they're ours. It's in the song, Britannia rules the waves. Thank you, Tyrrell Wrights, for the 30 Norwegian kroner. That's very kind of you. So, number 10 has said the PM is going to speak to President Ursula von der Leyen to take stock of negotiations and then discuss next steps. The interesting thing is, I think it was today was the final day of formal Brexit negotiations. And we did offer them a 3-year transition period for fisheries. We did offer them that. But they'll be given adequate time to adjust post-Brexit, so the quotas will be reduced every year. Which I'm okay with, because seriously, you shouldn't be allowed in our waters. So, instead, they can just suck it, really. Do I have a tiny URL for this one? Because that's a long, long, long article. I don't want to be giving you a full... I tried to archive some of these sources before the stream, and it didn't want to work. So, yeah, that was precious. I'll go and get the URL for that. Macron being dumb. That'll work. Yep, that's the article for that. I guess... And look at this. I'm going straight through these, aren't I? 28 minutes in. Nice. Okay, so back to coronavirus, I guess, and the final article I've got, because I've done 6. No, I've done 7 actually. I could just stop here. Nah, we'll do the last one. I need to close my book. Where's my bookmark? There it is. Get in there. Go on, get in there, my shot. President Donald Trump and the First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump, have tested positive for coronavirus. Now, he has said some things over the this year, in fact, about coronavirus, the China virus, and all these other things, and he mocked people who got it because he hadn't. And obviously, he's hydroxychloroquine and all that nonsense as well. Well, he's having to self-isolate because of it, and he is also in a high-risk group because of his age. He's 74. He's high risk, right? I'm not getting water. I will suffer this for you. He has said on Twitter, we will get through this together. I did see Sophane tweet out, it's been 14 hours since he last tweeted. Twitter's been very nice and calm, I guess. I'll be honest. It's not the end of the world, really. Hope Hicks, one of his closest aides, has also tested positive. Mike Pence, at the time when the article came out, I haven't checked, had not released his test. The reason why people want him to release his as well is because if he comes back positive, he also has to self-isolate. And then people think that this means there will not be a president. Therefore, next in line would be Nancy Pelosi. And some people obviously want this because they want more than anything else for her to then push through with a Supreme Court justice to call the bluff of, and this is what I've seen. I've seen the tweets. I should have archived them, but archive's been .is or ph.vn or whatever has been an absolute nightmare for archiving. The argument is what I said. If Pence was positive and he had to self-isolate, that's what they're arguing. I didn't mean. I should have. I might have misspoken there. I do apologise, Jason. Unless the people who have said this on Twitter are fundamentally wrong, and Pence, even if proven positive, would still be in charge. I think he's out for 14 days. He still has to... He has just over a month before the elections, which is on the 3rd of November, if people don't already know. It should be quite interesting, to be honest. I think if debates get pushed back, they get pushed back. I know that Trump is also doing a TV interview and statements, so it shouldn't be a huge issue. I know people are mocking. I know some people have already And I've seen the videos of people, there was Dominic West on TV this morning. He was an actor in a TV show called The Wire, one of the best shows to ever exist. It was genuinely a great show from start to finish. He tested negative. Thank you, Nephabeth, for that. I do appreciate that. Hail Hydrate, indeed. I think. What was I going to say? I've forgotten now. Completely forgotten. It was something really stupid as well. Dominic West. He had said that he hoped Donald Trump died on TV. That was clever. Very very brave of people to start. I mean, a lot of people are saying they're not going to lose sleep if Trump dies. I'll be honest, not many are, because no one cares about anyone ever. Are you serious? Seriously, no one cares. That seemed like an odd statement to make, but you know what I mean. Nobody cares. It's a simple fact. No one does, and he's a president. So honestly, I have a nasal wheeze. Yeah, I do. Yes. I'm going to try and avoid doing that again. Yeah, it is hyperbolic. I agree, Dibs, but it was obviously a point put out there by many. I found it to be quite interesting. I obviously would hope for him to get better, because I want to see this campaign finish. I want to see the next 2 debates. Probably one at this point. I want to do one of those with Trups. He and I are going to sit here on this channel and get utterly shreked. But I'm not going to throw up on myself. I'm not Cog. No offense, Cog, if you're watching. Apparently I've got a stronger constitution would drink you under the table. Anyway, there are, with a number of articles that are published, they decided to go into the more recent physical examinations. I'll be honest, for his height, he's a heavy bloke. He's tall, heavy, reasonably high BMI. I'll be honest, when the guy lives on McDonald's, what do you expect? I will link, by the way, this article in the chat as well for those who are interested. I hope they get better, because obviously I don't want anyone to die of something we can't cure yet. If it even exists, there you go, I've said that for you as well. Disclaimer. It's just, to me, quite interesting. Debates virtually... the problem, Serene, with that, the problem with the virtual debates is it loses a lot of the atmosphere, and they can mute Trump by simply muting his monitor. They can mute him. Right? I don't want that. I want him right there next to Biden, right? Because I know damn well he will interrupt him so many times and get under his skin. And he did it in the first one. You saw it. Come on, man. I would love it if Biden said, "Come on, mate. Come on, mate. Yeah, give me some free moment. I need to talk and tell them what I'm not going to do." Because that's what they always do. They might try and stop Barrett's confirmation, but I'll be honest with you. She's getting in. Oh, and that's the article for Trump, by the way. Hang on. If you say, "My mum's monkey may mark my moccasins." Nice. Okay. I'm done with this already. I've done my civic duty on this channel. I have done my streams for the evening. We have had a glorious moment going through this. As a final thing, if you did enjoy this, please leave a like and share it. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. We will be back here on Wednesday. And yeah, thanks for joining, guys. I really appreciate you all turning up. I'm now going to go hang out on my server for a bit and chill before I have to go to bed. Probably early, because I still need to catch up on a little bit of sleep. So, good night, everyone.